Again,
What did they say? We could ask them about substance, food, coffee.
oh, what I heard on the radio just today, listening to the radio.
I'm giving him.
Oh. Is that there's still no in-house meals? It's just gonna be takeout.
Oh, no, I meant.
He wouldn't want to come back.
Yeah, no, I meant.
Oh, you want to meet him.
You asked.
You want to come to our coffee club at 10 o'clock in the morning at Beaver Creek. That's our new meeting place. We got
But
meeting.
we'll be back to the old one a week later.
Is that
We'll be back to the old one a week later.
10 o'clock at the park on Wednesdays,
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, that was the only day they had available.
Yeah, 10
Yeah.
o'clock.
well, we tried to get.
And we go into the back room is what we do. So if you don't see anybody, we're in the back room.
Yeah, I've been in there for so 10
Yeah, it's a
o'clock.
beautiful room.
Yeah, already diving on the
You
floor.
ever been there? In the back room?
It's very nice.
Huge table like this. Looks like it come out of an.
I know.
Asian man or- Oh, yeah, it's carved and, oh, yeah, it's beautiful. Wouldn't you good for our old people to say that? Don't look like it's still a thing here.
No.
Get a bunch of card tables up for you.
We've had different speakers come in and speak, and then different organizations have meetings back there.
Absolutely, I was impressed. The guy that owned it and remodeled it actually lived right across from us, and he was a kid when I was a kid. That's who bought the building and redid it and grinded and coffee and. Yeah. And I need to get out from under the kitchen sink, so, and I got it done in no leaks.
We needed a break.
Yeah,
We have been going.
next one is the dishwasher.
All right, we are going to go ahead and start our working session. Present Commissioners Lanier and myself, Williams, Sandy Brown, the treasurer, and I'm gonna go ahead and have you guys state your names.
I'll go first, Larry Larson.
Okay,
Doug Elney.
Joanne Comer.
Okay.
And Tiffany Tanner.
sorry, Tanner, sorry about that. That's what I was,
Double appendix.
what was your last name again?
Joanne Comer with a C. C and an M.
And who is up on our,
You have Ashley
Here's the
Taylor,
signage.
Kimberg, and Beaver Creek.
public comments on non-agenda items?
What's on the agenda today, by the way?
I think we have some.
Yeah,
on the
there's some
table
copies
there.
right there.
Public comments on agenda items?
I actually have a couple for non-agenda. I didn't
Oh,
get
for
to it before
non-agenda,
you said.
sorry.
We had an encroachment come in the mail. So,
What is the, what?
an encroachment permit, hang on, I need to go grab it. I left it on, yeah.
Sound good.
What's that?
It doesn't sound good.
Oh, it's not a bad thing. It's kind of a general, well,
Somebody built a garage too close to a county.
Oh, that.
That's what I'm thinking.
I really.
Lexus has already looked at it. We just have to, I don't know if we're having a road department meeting. But do you guys want me to put it on?
so the meeting tomorrow, the TAC one is the Transportation Advisor Committee for the transit. Next week is the Montana Department of Transportation.
And that's scheduled at 10, so I don't know that it'd be done by 10:30.
The one tomorrow? I think
Isn't it tomorrow?
9:30.
9:30 tomorrow.
9:30. So it should be done by 10:30
Yeah.
meeting?
So I think we'll still have time for the meeting tomorrow with Shane.
Yeah, we
Okay.
can bring this up then.
Do you want me to put that on this Thursday's agenda or next Thursday's?
That'll be up to Shane. He'll need to review
So
it.
just wait for him.
Yeah. If he says it's good to go, then we can probably. We'll be within our 48 hours to
Yep.
put it
Yeah.
on this Thursday.
Yep.
So I'm gonna give this back to you.
That was the only thing. James Brandon brought in an application. I didn't put it under board. So, I'll just pass that around. I was gonna scan that and send it to you guys, but I haven't had a chance yet. He just brought it in. So it's just a reapplication for the, lead board.
We,
And those just both came in this morning, so that's it.
Beaver Creek Park added a comment online.
10 cabin. That we talked about last week. Jake isn't here. She wanted me to remind you guys to talk about it. You weren't at the park board meeting. Evidently, there's some questions regarding some late fees for a cabin. Jake and Bill were at the park board meeting and it was put on to the commissioners for a decision. So she just wanted to know if there was an update.
At this point, since Jake's not here. Is familiar with.
is that something we normally deal with? I thought there's a policy and procedure that they have set up through the park board. Why would it go through commissioners?
They said at the meeting they were referring it back to the commissioners.
Well, I suggest we just burn it down and if they don't want to pay it.
We'll take that under advisement later. That was Larry Larson's comments.
I guess I'll let you guys decide. I don't.
It was sent to the commission, to the commissioners. It's an ordinance.
Yeah.
Is what Beaver Creek said. So wait till Jake gets here?
Yeah.
Anything else? Under non-agenda item?
I just got one thing that just popped into my head.
Okay.
Stuff like I have. The small senior bus down there that's parked in the parking lot, has that ever been driven at all to keep, or? I mean, would the gas just all be liquid or dried up in chunks in the tank? I was just curious, because if we're not gonna ever use it, why don't we just get it running and sell it?
It's a good question.
Cause if it never ever runs, it's gonna be toast and they won't get a dime out of it.
I know it ran once, not long when I was over there. It ran because
Okay.
I did have Jeff, who at the time, Blair that was working there, get it started, get it moving. But since that time, I did not know if that was or not.
I was just curious, 'cause I'm one of the guys, if a car sits forever, it's like, well, now it's just wasting, it's just depreciated every year, because it's not being used.
Anything else?
Are we talking about senior items right now? Anything, it's open, anything.
We have an update. We'll
Okay.
talk about it
Well, I
in the
just gonna
agenda
throw in-
items.
I'm not here to beat you guys up, it's all tough situation, everybody, but Larry and I, we've organized, moved our coffee group over to the Beaver Creek Perk on Tuesday morning. And I talked to Bill, I think it was Friday, a week ago. He said the Peanut group was gonna create creative leisure, is that working out okay?
I believe they were there last week. I don't know. I haven't heard anything.
Okay, and I talked to a guy, that plays pool, he said they're playing pool at the college, is that right, or?
I haven't heard
Yeah,
that.
okay, I thought that might have been, you had some connections to college.
No, I haven't
You
heard
might
anything
have
on that.
been,
We can talk more about these things during our council on aging update.
yeah,
Thank you.
anyway, hopefully we're providing an outlet for people to socialize till we are back to, being able to use the facility, so that's the main focus, I guess. We should probably start another coffee group for people in our group. But
Actually, they got some pretty good news they're gonna tell
You're
us,
gonna be,
once we do the senior thing,
Yeah.
they're gonna tell us.
okay,
they haven't gotten to the
Okay.
council on
On the
aging.
radio.
all right.
Somebody else joined us?
Oh dear, very good. So anyway, I didn't have any reference, but anyway.
Anything else? Public comments on agenda items? Topics for discussion, Mako renewal information.
Tia sent us a few emails on that, and Tiffany was working on this on Friday.
So I called, I don't know if anybody's worked on this. You know?
No, I was questioning that too.
Okay, so I called around and got as much information as I could. I called the sheriff's office, I called Kimberg. The only thing I don't have is the total number of volunteers. I have the board members, so
What
right here where it says total number of volunteers.
is that, like total, or it used to be separated for council on aging and other volunteers?
I'm
I think it's all lumped together.
all, the number you had last year was 18, or whoever got that. But I talked to Tia and I said, have you gotten any of this information? She said no, so I just made some calls. I got the budget number from Lexus. So I think for the most part, it's almost done. Let you guys look at that. The only thing she said that Sandy's working on all the vehicles.
Right,
And the only thing she really needs from you guys is to do the building.
and the buildings need work. I scanned through the buildings and we need to adjust quite a few of them.
Yeah, she needs you guys to go through this list right here, the buildings. I think she sent this all to you in the December 30th email, and then the deductibles. So the rest of it Sandy's taken care of and is filled out on there.
In regards to the number of volunteers, they have it all, it's all lumped together as one number.
Have it separated out.
There's a whole lot more than 18.
Here's the,
Yeah, and when is this due by? 16th?
16.
16th February.
But
isn't it?
she doesn't want us to wait.
And
We do have a meeting with her on the 11th, I think.
what's that other sheet that someone asked about? I have never seen that other sheet.
There was a criminal,
Yeah, what
Crime.
is it about? Where's it at?
there's that one.
Yeah, well, yeah, there must have been more documentation with it,
For Mako insurance.
This
I
is the
know
one that
that,
was
but-
due on the 7th.
but there must be more.
I don't know, this one I was just added on the 7th, I seen it. Or no, Kathy CC'd me on it on the 13th, but I was told you did this one.
Yeah, where's the, oh. They must have sent some paper to talk about it or something with it. Where is that? I've never seen nothing.
Said crime policy application questions. I just have a note on here, Sandy's doing this one.
Yeah, and I like, here we got a document. That's,
Did you guys get that email?
Yeah, it was just
Oh,
sent
yeah.
out last week. We got another.
Will you see if Sandy's on that one?
because if it's just, I mean,
That's the one on the 30th.
I was just CC'd on it on the 13th, so prior to that,
Cause there's one on the 30th. All three commissioners, you got a thing from Tia that had 6 documents on it.
that was the December 30th.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is different.
This is a different one. This is from Mako for insurance. And they're asking us to do this.
right,
I think it's for security or.
yeah, right, but there must be more to the document than,
I assumed there was more prior that I wasn't on those emails, so.
I'm not on any of them, other than, if you had. But otherwise, no, I mean, there has to be more explanation to the document. And that's what I wondered.
I wrote down commissioners talked about it on January 20th. I was CC'd on the email on the 13th. It was due back on January 7th. That's all I have.
I think Kathy CC'd you, right?
I think so. That's what I put
That's
down.
fine.
Kathy CC'd me on the 13th. But I think there was a bunch of emails prior to that.
Right, I'm gonna say that you are very correct and they probably explained that. Where are those?
Those I wasn't on.
Yeah, see, and that's what I'm asking for.
They can't get it on.
Um,
You said you got it, you got the
13th.
other 13.
prior
Hasn't
to
she
that,
sent it to you?
maybe. Yeah, maybe look for, I don't know when you guys put a comment.
Well, I'll look for that information for you, Sandy. I have it printed off. It has the original date on it, but right now, looking back through my emails, there's just.
So I guess we just need that one on that one and then the buildings. And then Sandy's got the vehicle.
Right, I'm gonna send it back to her.
So the building ones is that, someone that you have printed.
Yeah, it's really small print, but you guys are welcome to look at this one if you want. This is the one that you guys need to sit down and go through. Sandy's doing the vehicles. We need the number of volunteers and we have a follow-up appointment with Tia. Is it the 11th? I don't have my calendar in front of me. She just wanted to finalize the meeting with you guys to go through everything.
So. I'll make it. I found Tia's. I'll have to search deeper for them. Because they were kind of sent right around the same.
Do you see it? What day your meeting is with Tia? By the week before Mako? 11th. Okay. So I guess we just need number of volunteers.
I think there are one put down 15.
Yeah. I don't know. Senior center is. Emotion, so I don't know how many. I can't state right now. Give a room estimate.
For senior center.
Have to go. It up.
And then there's, what did you say?
Fair.
Fair?
So fair, I will look at that list again. I had it, but she updated it. I don't tell you exactly, but I'll bet you there are over 15 people on there.
I think, what I say, there was 18 last year?
Yep.
Yeah, 18.
On last year's application, did it have it broke down to council on aging? Cause I thought we specifically broke that out.
It may
before.
have been somewhere else, but she
Yeah.
just
Not
did this.
Not on this one, but I know last year we had to specifically call it.
I remember us talking about it, but I don't. What?
I didn't realize they had water and fire districts on here too for boards. And I don't have numbers for those ones, so I'll add those to it too. Which I think Riley's got those. Okay, can you guys think of anything else that we need for that?
So on that one with the buildings, what do we have to go through that list? What?
Should the department kind of go through it. I know like Beaver Creek, Chad's gonna have a few.
Right, and there's some that need really updated because there's some of them on there for over $1 million and
Fair.
I'm not positive where such a figure would have come from. So that, that came into effect. I bet you that was a long time ago.
Well, at least 6 years ago, it was pretty up to date and accurate at that time with the buildings that we had in place.
So do you think we should forward this to all the department heads to look at?
I do. I mean, they're really the ones that know what's on their property. They're the ones that
I agree with you on that.
take inventory.
What do we want them to verify?
But there may not be a building on there that should be on there, or it might be a buildings on there that shouldn't be on there. And, you know, the vehicles, I'll do that every now and again, is I send all them out to make sure that I actually have what they say.
For example, Chad built that shop. Is that on there? Is it being insured for the proper amount? That kind of stuff we need to check.
Because we don't know what they have in there. Well, I don't know.
That's some picnic tables.
Well, we don't know if they're storing machinery or what.
And look at to see if the buildings still are there. So I'm not sure if they're gonna be able to figure anything out outside beyond that. About appraised value or
The same with the fairgrounds. We probably should put a deadline on that too, for people to get back to us with that information. So we can get our information submitted in a timely manner.
That's the end of the week. Because didn't she just say that you have an appointment with Tia on the board?
11th.
On the 11th, and it's due by the 16th, which is a Monday, so
It's also on the business meeting agenda on the 5th to sign the application.
for that,
The actual application for the renewal.
I think Jake wanted it on the 5th, so we weren't pushing up on the deadline, but
And I
we'll
told
extend that out.
Tia that we have it on the agenda on the 5th, and she said, okay, that's fine, but she wanted to follow up with you guys after that date so that you could go through everything and work out all the details.
Yep.
So I think we need to probably set a deadline before the 5th.
I would say by the 6th, the end of this week, if they can just take a quick look through there, let us know of any changes, that it's back, bounces back to us
30th.
by February 6th.
You said the end of this week.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at February 6th, what I was looking at, unless you want it back before then, by the 3rd, before we talk to Tia.
I thought it was the 5th.
Yeah,
I don't know.
you're signing the renewal on the 5th.
So maybe back by the 3rd.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
time to look at it. And Tia, you said is on the 11th.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess them all this week and
I don't need to send vehicles, do I? Just the buildings?
No, because I took care, and then I'll send all the changes back to her so that she has them so she can update them in her system.
So I'm just
Then we
doing
know the renewal amount.
And she needs you guys to talk about the deductibles too, if you mind, keep them the same.
anything else on that? All right, we will move on to commissioners to provide an update regarding council on aging. So I'm working very hard, putting in 12 and 14-hour days down at the center. We do have all the inventory done, have a procedure in place for our kitchen help to be weekly reviewing any and all of our inventory food, updating that consistently. I've been working with the commodities program. We're in the process of trying to get the next order submitted on that, so we can get that delivery in for next month. Working currently on Capstone. That's a work in progress still. That is what we enter our numbers in of all of our meals that are delivered and received. So I'm working on that right now. I've gotten our billing accounts up to date. Several were shut down because of payment not being made in a timely manner. So we're trying to get those reactivated and open again and in good standing. Everything claim wise is up to date. As I get them, they get paid. There's no delays on that. Ordered the dishwasher part. They called me this morning. I'm so happy to hear that. They got the part in finally.
So happy.
And I asked them to come over and fix it today. They said that unfortunately they could not, but they're looking at tomorrow or Wednesday.
Nice.
So that should be up and going. So that's gonna be a huge difference in the kitchen right now too. Things have been going smoothly in the kitchen. We've kind of had to work out a little protocol there with the three, because we're down to 3 people right now. So we have been doing that. Things seem to be going smoothly. Everyone's in good spirits and any hiccups there. I did send out to the paper. I wanted the notice out into the next week's paper of us reopening on February 2nd, which is a Monday. There was a whole bunch of information that was sent out without my knowledge. So that kind of put a big uproar in things this weekend of people calling me, and I didn't get stuff done at this center like I wanted to because everybody was calling me and talking about that. That took away from my time trying to get more stuff done this weekend.
But it is gonna be open on the second, you said?
The second is our hopes.
Okay. Might be our last coffee.
We're really hoping for that. Or as of right now, it'll be,
Yeah.
unless something unforeseen comes up. So I've been working on that. We've been working on, oh boy, my head's just spinning of the stuff that I've been working on every day. I'm calling volunteers. As of today, I've been calling volunteers to come in and see if they want to recommit to coming in, whatever dates that they want, hours, whether it be kitchen or the front desk or just volunteering to, I'm going to be reaching out to people that if they put on their applications, they want to help with cleaning, building maintenance, paperwork, any of that stuff. I am going to be about that and bringing people hopefully to do those things, because this senior center is going to be ran off of volunteers pretty much after this. It's going to be heavily run volunteers.
Questions?
So, so we will, I'm in the process of doing that. I'm also in the process of, not today, hopefully tomorrow, calling, board members that have submitted applications to get our board up and going. So I've been in contact with our regional manager about that. So we want to get that into place as soon as possible too. You can only do one thing at a time, so I'm strategically doing these things. The next thing I would like to see done, hopefully within the next month, is to have our management to the center. But like I said, I have a lot of things going on. I'm trying to do things strategically and appropriately, so we have solid things in place going forward, so this doesn't happen again. And so that's kind of where I'm at the moment. I might have forgotten something. You know, maybe something will jar my memory and I'll let you know. But I've just been working on a plethora of things going. Any question?
Oh, yeah.
I'll let you ask a question.
You know how it is when you're drinking coffee. We really didn't know what Shannon and Val did in that other little office next to the director's office. Kind of looked like to most of us that job of inputting that data or whatever they're doing could be the director's job too. If the kitchen is running smoothly and you got your command center in the kitchen and the volunteers are set up, you'd almost think that it'd be a place that we could save money. I don't know how much paperwork input they do, but it almost looks to me like that could be part of the.
So when I talk
director's
about
job.
Capstone, that's what Shannon did. the entering of those numbers on a daily basis or weekly basis.
And what is
That's our funding.
I mean, what is,
So it's a program that we enter in, like meals are being delivered or have been delivered and or in the center. Several things, activities, there's a lot of different things that go into that. That's what I'm trying to get straightened out next. So once I can get that into place, we'll be entering those numbers in. But that is.
As of right now, those positions aren't gonna be filled.
right,
No.
yeah,
And Val, she did the menu and, just by saying that
that's what
triggered something else.
I would thought that,
The menus and like the newsletter, and the billing that went out for like delivery meals and some congregate. I don't know why they did billing that way. So we've been diving into that, found some issues there. Trying to straighten that out. So I will also be doing that. But when I said menus, I had Lori submit 3 months worth of menus to state instead of just this monthly thing, so we could track our food and order appropriately. And this morning, Tessa responded back that she reviewed and approved all 3 months.
Right.
So we're sitting there for 3 months worth of menus as of right now, so that,
The state has to approve the
Done.
menus.
right,
so that's done. With the inventory that I've done, we'll be able to go forward and really watch the food.
but actually, I would think every month could just repeat the next month. I mean, we've all had lunch before, there's only so many things you can do,
Yeah.
maybe 15, 20 different items. So it should
Lori's
just
pretty
be
good about
repeat,
getting
make it
creative.
easy, you know, yeah.
Yeah, in the 3 months of her menu, she's got a pretty good change up, so people don't get sick of having this on a Thursday, every second Thursday of the month, or, you know.
Most of those guys don't know what day of the week it is.
So on those lines of the food, I've gotten the food orders down from where we've been anywhere between 200 and 400 in the, 3 weeks that I've been ordering. I think we've only had a couple come in for 200, and I think the other one's a little over 400 from 2,000. Yeah,
That comes off the Cisco truck, right? We were talking about.
some of it.
Some of it.
I'm trying to shop local too and do a cost savings there, and that's where we've really been able to.
And then some of it's not a commodity, right? You got
No,
like something-
we don't,
Oh,
no, we
really?
don't use. No,
I think
body
Joanne-
is separate. That's a separate.
Well, there's a few people have questions,
Joanne?
and Kim has one too.
Sorry. Joanne?
Okay, that's weird, your voice is coming from somewhere else. Anyway, the question I had to do with the Meals on Wheels.
Okay.
And, are we delivering a lot more now since the center has closed?
The numbers did go up a little bit, a lot,
Not a lot.
no. So we are gonna still do that. And we have been doing. Till we get the congregate.
So you've been able to meet that demand then
Oh, yeah.
for the Meals on Wheels?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and then to clarify, on the second, the center will open, but not for meals.
Not for in-house meals right now and not for pickup of
Right.
meals.
Right.
So I want to make that very clear, not pickup of meals. It will, they'll just only be delivered out.
Okay, so it'll be open for activities
Correct.
and
From 8 to
for a
3.
volunteer to man the phone. Or a succession of volunteers manning the phone to keep track of things. Whichever, that's gotta be organized, that what you'll want them to keep track of. You know, there's changes in the Meals on Wheels, for instance, or, you know,
They refer them to the kitchen.
the kitchen manages all that.
And Kim, you had a question?
Yeah, I was just curious where you are with purchasing of those food containers so that delivery can go outside of the city limits for the rest of Hill County. I know that you said you didn't have enough containers, so just wanted to check back on that.
So 2 things there. We ordered more hot and cool packs for the containers that we are currently delivering right now here in town.
Mhm.
I did find an old contract that was not found previously by the director. For the Guilford site, I do need to reach out to them. So that is another thing. Like I said, there's gonna be things that got triggered that I knew I had not brought up. That was one of them, was getting the meals reinstated back on the High Line. I do need to talk with some people, get that in line with Guilford so we can set up a system down there to get that delivered. So that, I will be working on that. Like I said, I can only do one thing at a time, and
Yeah, no,
knocked
I just
out.
wanted to check on it.
Yeah, I've knocked out a lot in 2 weeks, and those are things that I want to be very careful of how we plan them out so they're solid going forward, that we know we have the volunteers, stable volunteers and enough volunteers to be delivering. We don't have inconsistent meal
Mhm.
delivery. So, does that
Okay.
answer your question?
Yeah, it
So
does.
at that time, I'll order the other containers, and I already have them up on site, so I know which products they are and I can order them, but we'll have to wait till it's a little closer to that.
Okay. Thanks.
Well, I can think Larry and I talked about this one time. Do you get reimbursed from the state a certain amount for the Meals on Wheels program?
Yes.
And, okay, and they, I just wondered if, the cost of delivering them and everything is, not a small thing, but, is that covering, you think that's funding is enough to cover the, delivery along with the meal itself? Maybe now that we've raised it to 8, that helps too, with that respect. But, and I get a feeling, Sherry, I know you're working hard on this thing, but I get a feeling that there's a lot more things probably involved in running the senior center, and you probably maybe realize, maybe
I
a
realized
few
it
years ago.
and I knew that, but we're starting from ground up again.
I know. And
So,
that's
yeah, it's been a real reconstruction of
Right,
things, and I
yeah.
want to make sure everything's solid going forward, so
right.
it doesn't collapse again and do this. So we're not in the same situation.
Yeah, I know. You just scratched the surface.
Yes, and I apologize for that. I'm trying to remember everything that I've
Yeah.
done, but in a day, I have done many, many things. So I am trying to work hard, though. I just want everyone to know I am working hard, and for us to even get it up in this shorter order was a huge feat. And I just want to stress again that volunteers are going to make the senior center. It is the senior center.
Well, I
And going
can
forward,
see
we
that.
are gonna have to do that on this restricted budget we're under
Yeah.
now.
I get a lot of questions regarding the board. We need to have a functioning, strong governing board.
Mhm.
And so have you had enough applications so you can choose a board? Because that's
I
your job,
am-
right? As commissioner, you choose the board members,
It's the directors,
the director of the
yeah,
council.
because it's the governing board under the regional agency.
So I think
The advisory board is under the commission.
so in regards to that, since the funding for the center comes from the county, I think it needs to be an
It
advisory
doesn't.
board.
A mill comes from the county, so there is a contribution, but the majority comes from our region. Distributes that funding which trickles down from federal to state to our to our area.
See, I think because looking at the way the boards are structured in Liberty County and Toole County, those are all advisory boards and they're all very similar to ours.
I'm just going off what I'm told. and
From
that's how
Susan
I'm-
or from Lindsay?
Lindsay, when I talked to Lindsay, so that's why I'm structuring what I am. We've gotten 7 applications in so far, which I will be calling tomorrow and start setting up interviews for those to get that board in place as soon as
And how many people
possible.
are you wanting to have on the board?
I think with the application amount that we have right now, we can either go with 5, 7, or 9. But you can't have more than what you're receiving in applications, obviously, so. And there is a requirement of 1 commissioner that needs to sit on there, 1 person from the High Line, we need a tribal representative. So there is a set addition of who we can,
Did you get that from
An
Lindsay
amount.
on that? Needs to be on that,
that was in the bylaws
which bylaws?
for the board, the governing board.
write the bylaws that I've asked for that I've never gotten.
Bill. Stop. You act like I do nothing all day.
That's not what I said. That is not what I
gotten them.
said. I've asked
It
you
was your
before.
tone, so I'm gonna ask you to stop that. It's in the bylaws. It states one tribal representative they're choosing, one person from the High Line, two at large, one commissioner. That's 5 people right there. We could go with 7 if we have enough applicants. I think if we have more applicants and we are able to have a bigger board, it will give us a better, well-rounded board.
Okay, so the controversy seems to be, we get 1 mil from the county, okay? As far as funding, and I know there are grants written on that report we got, you know, that just are for Meals on Wheels, that's it. We've got grants, and so we have to provide Meals on Wheels, even with this closing, because we have grant money coming in to do that. That's why we're doing that, is my understanding. Okay, but then we have the Council on Aging, and we are Area 3, Council on Aging. So we get money from that too. That's what you were saying. So we get some money coming in from the county, money coming in from the council. Okay. Now the Council on Aging, the director of the Council on Aging, from what I've been able to find out, that person is overseeing 15 senior centers for Area 3. Is that correct? Because there
So
were
the Area 3 person who's out of Conrad oversees
this
all the different counties from
I
Blaine County
saw
to
that.
Toole County down to Ponderay and
So there's
Shoto County. That each area or has a project director or has a center director for their respective senior centers. And so that Area 3 director is Lindsay. She's out of Conrad. And so the actual, most of them have their own directors or person who's in charge. And that's where Sherry's, Commissioner Williams is our interim director right now. A lot of that's going to depend upon like funding and what's not out there. So a lot of the money that we get from the federal government and the state, the federal government gives it to the state gives it through and funnels it through the Area 3. And then they're the ones who disperse it to the different counties for their areas.
It's just, you've gotten a lot of questions, people.
So like
Why did we change from Area 10 to Area 3 and that, you know, and everything shifted about a year or so ago, and I can't answer it. I don't know how to.
And the thing is it's kind of hard because some some counties like Toole County, they have 2 senior centers. They have one in Sunburst for the Sunburst Kevin area, then they have one in Shelby. So some areas depend upon have multiple areas or multiple senior centers. Like Cascade County and Great Falls, down where Great Falls at, they are their own area, but they have, I think, 6 or 7 different senior centers throughout the county that are kind of underneath one.
That helps. So then the question becomes, when you're setting up a board, do you follow county rules because we get a mill from the county, or do we follow Council on Aging rules for a board? That's kind of the question. There's different requirements or difference. They're each stating something different about how to set up a board, what a board should be.
A governing board governs the finances, so they'll look at the revenue, the finances, whatever. And an advisory board is, they advise them. So that's where the commissioners oversee that, then they would advise something to the commissioners can
Well, doesn't it
go
sound,
forward with that. The
seems like-
governing board has more
and
authority.
who says it sounds like we need a governing board, you know, to keep.
That's what it's being set up as.
It's being set up as a governing board, because then whoever's on the board can have the different heads of departments give a report, and then,
Correct.
you know, but they're advising at the same time, but you're also governing. Sure, things are,
And a governing board is responsible for saying, pursuing grants, fundraising, those types of funds that come in to support the center.
and does that work with, does it need to be a governing board for that 1 mil from the county? Is that, or just for the?
The
Council on
1 mil
Aging?
was implemented, well, it was contributed prior because it was under our area, so I think the county always contributed, but in order for us to have been moved over to the area agency 3 from the 10, so that no longer exists, we had to write a letter from the county commissioners stating that we were going to contribute at least one mil
Oh,
to the center, or they were not gonna take us on under their agency, absorb us into their area. And that's where that mill comes in.
How much is a meal?
That'd be a Sandy question. I'm not sure what it's at the moment.
Sitting
I thought
right
you said one
around,
time.
it's sitting right around 46.
Okay.
And I think at the time when we wrote that letter saying that we would absorb, but yes, we would be contributing as a county. But we had some skin in the game. It was at 34.
Didn't the county already have a mill for the
Well,
center?
that's what I was saying. I think because we were under Area Agency 10, we were contributing, but I don't know it was absolutely a dedicated mill. It is a dedicated mill now. That was
It
run-
was for many years because we had to say we would do a match. And the fact that Area 10 is no more is because technically you're not supposed to do that. Furthermore, I mean, they're two separate things, your area and your center. They have to be. The way it was run, they were allowing one person was doing it, both,
well, Area 10 was just Havertz Center.
they were doing both jobs and they cannot. We have to have separate.
That's why-
They never.
Well, part of it was considered, you had Red Yard that was underneath
Right.
Haver, but then also funds for Rocky Boy were coming to the Haver centers for out there as part of Area 10, but that's all changed. So they're their own thing now and have been for a while.
That's why I think it was originally set up as an advisory board instead of
That's why
governing board.
Okay. But then that board that originally was set up and that was supposedly doing things and then everybody resigned or whatever, they were functioning as more as an advisory board. They did not do their bylaws and it took a lot of pressure just to get bylaws written.
There were bylaws at the time. There was actually several different versions of the bylaws.
And they were functioning as a governing board too, because they made the decisions to purchase the vehicles with the CARES money or the COVID money. So they were acting as a governing board already.
Yeah, see, and what I am hearing is that the board that was functioning at the time, as soon as it shift from Area 10 to Area 3, and they would then have to be more of a governing board and be more of a hands-on board, and, you know, we're gonna control this thing. That's why some of them resigned. Is that accurate?
I'm not exactly sure why some of them resigned.
Right.
And then nobody else wanted to be a part of a governing board.
So I am in the process starting to reaching out to those people that have given me letters of application, because everybody came to the meeting and was like, I'll be on the board, I'll be on the board. But you gotta do the letter of interest. I need that. We have to do it because I need the information from people so I can contact them and set up interviews so we can go through this process correctly and in a fair manner for everyone to have. Anything else?
The application, originally I got kind of confused on this. We have an Area 3 board of directors, but we need a senior citizen board of directors too. As you gotten applications for a senior center. board?
That's what she's working on.
Okay,
Is
Yeah. Now, if the board decides to have a committee, they can do that where they can set a certain, whoever they may choose or that works to set up for maybe just setting them out to fundraise. Or, you know, but they have to come back to the board. They can't just, they don't have their own authority to do things. So they could set up a committee if that's what you're talking about, maybe. But whole nother separate board for the same place, no. It'd just be
well,
one board.
when was the last time that our local senior center had a board of directors? I've been going there for about
a couple years,
On and
about
on.
2 years.
Yeah, was there one there when you were there?
There wasn't one when I first got there. There were
Yeah.
people's names and we were getting them together. Then I left, but then after I was gone, I did get appointed to be on the board. I was on the board the last time they met, which was, not quite, well, year and a half. Year and a half ago.
Yeah,
So like in August, I believe, of 24 was the last time they met.
okay, I wasn't even aware that, I talked to our coffee group about, because it was brought up at the council aging meetings that you had been on, the local
Yeah.
center to get a board of director.
So,
I thought that was important too, you know.
yeah, and so Bill is stating that the last time he had been on the board was back then, but we had met as recently as May. And we were just at the point of doing bylaws. And then one lady stepped down because
Yeah.
in the bylaws that were previously wrote, it stated that they would oversee employees. And that's not the case,
Okay.
because the county oversees our employees because we employ them, not our board. And so she stepped down and then the other lady followed, right? Not even shortly a week after that. So that's when the board kind of, so me in there. So we're back to
Does that?
square one.
Vary from county?
I guess I'm confused.
I know it is
Um,
confusing.
There's a lot
See,
to it.
because the
going
county,
on.
like you say, the county employees, that's the other thing. And then you have your volunteers. And the same stuff goes on every day, you know, except for thing goes on Tuesday or something. But it's the same thing every day. They're gonna eat, they're gonna play cards, they're gonna play dominoes, all right? And we have the gift shop. I don't know what a board would do I mean, all that is taking place every day by somebody down there. So why would anybody have to sit with 5 other people to discuss what they're doing?
No, you gotta make sure the kitchen's doing your inventory. You've gotta
That
make
should be
sure
the
that
director that sits in the building. That should be her job, that she's the boss there.
the board can get the reports from all these different areas to make sure stuff's being entered into Capstone, to make sure, you know,
Oh,
that's how I see a board.
but you'd have to be smart enough to go into Val's office and know how to double check that computer. to make
Well,
sure-
there's an oversight with the board, there's an oversight over the.
It's like we
director.
get it, we want a report from Sandy, the board would want a report, you know, on the money, you get reports from. I sat on boards
Yeah.
before, but, and that's how it go. Get reports from every, and then as a board member, if you were a board member, then you could tell the person, you're not doing your job, I want that inventory, you know. I want that stuff entered in, you didn't enter it in, how come? You know, that kind
If
of.
we have a director, a lot of that should come from the director.
That's,
Yes.
yeah, that's my whole point. It seems like the director is there every day.
And that's why I think it should be an advisory board, not a governing board.
Exactly. I agree with you 100%.
Well, that's why you're thinking that.
I agree with you 100% on
So I'm gonna tell you,
that.
you're not gonna have enough money for a couple of years to have a.
And that board is also gonna need to be responsible for fundraisers and to help fundraise and
Well,
get
that's the
dollars.
committee, you set up different committees, you know, to go ahead and.
Right?
So if it's a governing board, that they would need to be, and that's the way it's set up in Blaine County. Blaine County, their facility, they rent from the county, Blaine County. And so they have a lot of fundraisers that they do so they can exist. And I would imagine whatever board we have is need to be very responsible and be a part of raising funds and dollars for it to have the continue on with the center.
Okay, so you don't want it to be an advisory board because you don't want the governing board to have enough power to be able to do anything really.
Well,
Because it's up to the director anyway, whoever's gonna be.
Well, in my mind, since the commissioners oversee the director and the employees, and they're employed by the county, the governing board isn't a lot there for them to do other than say fundraising or those types of things, because a lot of that is done through the county. So that's where I'm coming from on that. Not so much the power part is the way it's structured.
No, I went down to.
But that's the difference between an advisory board and
Yeah.
a governing board. Do you not know
Right.
that?
I don't know. I haven't seen our bylaws.
That has nothing to do with bylaws. It's how your boards are set up and what they do.
You mentioned last.
A governing board entails that governance over
I've
the
been asking for almost
director.
a year for the bylaws. Cause you said
Well,
last.
I don't know where the hell that came from, but we're not even gonna go down that road, Bill. But an advisory board is someone that just gives recommendations to the commissioners in the
They're
county.
worthless. Let's just say they're
It's
worth.
a worth of time.
If
It's
you,
worth,
you don't have any
not worth
power
the
in a
time.
board, then why even spend your time on the board?
Yeah.
Especially if you've got real strong personalities amongst the commissioners or amongst whatever. They're going to want their thing done their particular way. So why be on an advisory board? You're not gonna get people, I don't think, well.
And I think that was the big issue. Thank you. That was the big issue this summer, and a lot of people were just dropping off. They're like, well, what good are we here for?
Well, see, how do you see the advisory board functioning? It would be the board, whatever board set up, and they give advice to the director to.
Well, example was when I was on it, or, and, Commissioner Williams was talking about the vehicles. The board at that time recommended, certain vehicles be purchased as a recommendation. Well, the director did not purchase the vehicles that were recommended. They purchased whatever, and so it is
But
as
the
an.
board advised for certain thing to happen,
Right.
but then the director did.
And
Okay.
it was, they weren't in my mind, they weren't required to, but the purpose of the board is to have an outside view on things that maybe when you're in the middle of it, you can't always see the trees because of the forest.
I know that.
So
And
where were those bylaws? Because that's what you should have been guiding your board off of. Where were those bylaws?
which ones, when I was there?
Yeah.
We'd written them and
Were they
I
passed?
passed by who? So I had sent out bylaws at that time to, two of the other, to everybody that was on the board, including the commissioners that were in the commissioner's office. I only got 2 responses. And those were the other 2, the non-commissioners that were on that board. And, because they were redone several different times.
One commissioner can be on them.
But
No, I don't understand
I go back and I'll look at my personal.
But what I'm saying is there was never any bylaws to guide your board in the first place. So it sounds like you kind of
There-
were just doing whatever you were
There
doing
were
or
bylaws.
whatever.
So that's one of the things that you as a commission, you all to decide what kind of a board
Right. Well-
and find.
Sounds like it's
get
already
the
been
bylaws
decided.
Or whatever, and then agree on the bylaw that the particular board is gonna follow.
That's what I spoke with Lindsay, our area agency director. It's a governing
But
board
that's the
and that's
job,
what
that's
we're
the
going
job
forward
that was
to.
in the paper is up for, so she's quitting. If she,
No.
well,
No.
because it says the area 3 council on aging is looking for a director.
She was
Okay.
doing the end, and then she had to apply for that job, this Lindsay, and
Oh,
she
so it
got
had-
the job.
She did
It
get,
has
she
to be
did
posted.
selected,
Okay,
yeah.
It's been filled.
Then he built it.
Lindsay filled it. So,
And that's another question. It feels like there's like 3 levels of government to run the center. You're
Only 3.
gonna have a board, you're gonna have a director, you're gonna have county commissioners. And it's like another level that just makes another clog in the wheel. Yeah, I like less
Right.
government. It's easier to communicate with somebody directly instead of 3 levels. Cause everybody 3 levels, the ones down here feel like they don't have, really ain't saying anything, cause it's gonna eventually come to you guys at the table.
this
Um,
board would not be handled any differently than, say, the HRDC board. It's a governing board. The director follows what the board wants. It's all guided under that. They review the finances, the bills.
Right.
Everything.
That's what a board should do.
Yes, and it's ran the same way. It's a governing board.
Now, what would be a, take for instance, where we're at here now or a year or 2 ago. What is the difference between the Council of Aging and the Senior Citizen Board of Directors? I mean, yeah,
Well, we don't have 2 boards.
well, I know. And then we don't have a Council of Aging anymore either.
Yes, we do.
Or who is,
We're area 3.
no. See, no, I mean, the council.
Some of those terms, Doug,
have-
some of those terms have been used interchangeably.
It's very confusing.
I've been trying to figure it out, I
Just
know.
leaving it up to you guys.
Oh, but there are not going to be 2 boards. There's going to be 1 board that's going to be the Council on Aging, the Havre Senior Center. Is that correct? And that will also cover Rudyard. That's why when you've been advertising in the paper in the senior notes, it said, if you'd like to be on the board, we prefer somebody from Rudyard. That's been in there forever and ever.
Because they want representation of everybody.
So this governing board, this board is gonna have somebody, they want somebody from Rudyard too on there. They-
Yeah, the High Line. From
That's
the
the-
High Line.
That's the High Line. Oh, so it wouldn't have to be from Rudyard.
No, it just states the High Line. So it could be Guilford, Hingham, Kremlin.
We've got a Highline guy that's right in that other chair. Jake,
You can't have two commissioners on there. You can have one, but yes, that might be a possibility. One.
I just meant, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Most likely, because
Okay, that's.
Bill's already on the regional one. Jake is most likely gonna have to sit. Jake's most likely gonna have to sit on the local one here because I'm the acting interim. That would be a conflict of interest for me to be the acting
So you're
interim
on the
director and sit on the
Area
board.
3
regional board.
with the area
All right,
3,
there
yes.
for Area 3. So there's a regional board, Area 3. So you were
Yeah, I
right.
know.
You were right. Okay.
And then,
There's a
And then there's
lot
gonna
of
be a
pieces
local,
to it all.
right,
Then we're looking to fill this local one.
Correct.
we still have a
And the
council
Council on
Or
Aging
local.
replace senior citizens due to terminology, probably back in 2012.
Also,
We
they
do not refer to senior citizens, we referred it to because of.
Because we're old.
So Joanne, my question,
It's
Joanne,
because they say.
my question for you is, are you gonna put in a letter of interest? Cause I'm gonna be making calls tomorrow to start setting up
For
interviews.
the board, I hadn't.
That would be
decided.
wonderful.
I needed more, get more questions answered.
You know, I've been buying the Schlick paper for 20 years or more, and they have a senior column in there. And that place just functions like a well-oiled sewing machine.
It does now.
You guys
It did
ought to
a year
read that
ago.
column, because, they have a fundraiser probably every month. It's usually on a Saturday. They have a pie socials, they have ice cream socials,
Yeah,
they have taco feeds.
I think Doug sounds like he's wanting to be our fundraising chair.
Like,
Well, they
you
have
know,
a
they
board.
have a
Kinda sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
He does.
but a year ago, year and a half ago, they weren't doing well and they went under a restructure, got a director in there that is now, yes, doing those things that need to be done to sustain their
Right.
facility.
They
And
have
they're
a
running
strong
really well.
board.
Yes, I know they, yeah.
Yes.
Well, then we're dealing with old
And,
people. When you do a fundraiser, you want somebody to make Sundays. You're not sure how many you're gonna get this. You can actually go in the hole pretty fast too. The Boys and Girls Club, they have their lighted Christmas tree thing. It's been a big thing. Super big thing. They make a ton of money off that thing. But, just having taco feeds and stuff, I don't think there'd be enough money involved to.
To get money.
I don't know, you'd have to talk to them down there,
Yeah.
but I guess that's one of the, Bill brought it up, one of the rules or regulations for senior centers. I didn't realize this till a year ago, is they're supposed to have fundraisers. That's, you said Blaine County, and well, that's Cascade County. They do have fundraisers, and, most of the time on Chinook, I noticed they've been on, Saturday morning, you know. So I don't know, but they have, you know, what they have, I don't know where our endowment funds are at, but it's not very good anymore. But we need to encourage people to donate, you know, to the center, whether it be from a deceased person or just somebody who wants to donate it. I guess it's a tax deductible thing. Probably need to make that, reinforce that, you know. I had to bring this up, you know, Val is a nice lady. I talked to her about 6, 8 months ago about changing the narrative in her weekly column. Because I read the Chinook paper, and so we're doing all these fun, exciting things. We got this thing going on. And she just put the same old thing in there every week. You know, and I Val, you know, could we spice this up a little bit? We gotta get people excited about, coming to the senior center. I got people my age and even older that have never been there, you know, and I said, yeah, they've got wives and spouses and girlfriends or they're still working, some of them, you know, and they got money to travel and everything else. I don't, but, you know, going to the senior center to have coffee, that's a big deal for me. But, and that's all it takes to get me wound up.
Well, February 2nd,
But
we open
anyway,
at 8 o'clock.
I just, we need to get, people in there that are working there, that come out and like you guys, I encourage you to come to the meals and talk to the seniors so they know that you care about them. And we need to get people that work at the senior center. Lori is pretty good about that. When she has free time, she comes out and we visit, and then Larry and I go visit with her. People work there, tell them they're doing a good job, and people that go to the senior center need to do that too. You know, but it could be a more vibrant entity. Without not a whole lot of more work.
Yeah.
And,
I don't see job of the commissioners to fundraise for the senior center. I don't see that. I
it would be
see,
the volunteers.
I see the board,
Yeah, right, the
Seniors.
board,
the council on
Right,
aging
yeah.
board,
right,
forming a committee or two
right.
to fundraise another one.
And activities, we had a
Do
lot of
different things.
activities here a couple of years
Well,
ago.
I had a question, said, well, if I
All right.
donated a beef, would you accept the beef for the senior center? I says, not right now,
Well, that was another thing, I guess, John, you brought that up, I don't know if that's,
Cause nothing's organized. We
yeah,
can't
well, it
accept-
has to be, through a federally inspected, facility. I worked at the food bank for a long time.
Well, Big Sandy, a year ago, they told me they had a lot of trouble with their senior center too, and it closed. It's like ours did, Big Sandy.
Yeah,
And now they're back, and they actually have, somebody actually does donate beef there, but anyway.
sometimes maybe this is what I told Larry, we're all discussing with the frustrated, the senior centers closed down and everything is. But maybe this is what it takes. It takes something to get shut down and reorganize and make us, people wake up and realize, that they need to get more involved or whatever. Maybe it just needed to happen,
It did, and
Uh,
it did happen. And now we're gonna try to
so-
get on more of a solid ground and move forward so this doesn't happen again. Okay,
Okay.
we need to move on with our.
There's a
other
question
items.
in the chat.
Thank you, Kim.
Is there a deadline for applications?
For what? Applications for what?
I think that's since this is what we're talking about.
If someone could get an application in by the end of today or early part of tomorrow, I'm going to be calling on the applications that I've received in the last couple of weeks to move forward on a board constructed for interviews. It's been out there for quite a few weeks now. It's been advertised for months that we need applicants for the board.
Well, it's like I talked to Tiffany or somebody, I called her twice this afternoon about the meeting and, I said, "Oh, we have a newspaper right now that's an absolute disaster. I mean, they might as well not even put it out. And it was bad enough when it went from a daily to a weekly, and I don't know how you're gonna get it out to people,
The newsletter
Newsletter,
At this-
newspaper.
at this,
newspaper, they have our daily news.
oh, well,
It's just a
yeah,
terrible,
they're doing their own thing. I already put in
yeah,
on
and-
Friday to have it submitted on Wednesday, and they already went and put it online and did their own thing.
yeah, it's
So
online, but.
can only do what I can do within
No, I'm
my
not blaming
capacity.
you for it, but it's just, it's
so-
just bad that our
Yeah,
newspapers gone the way it's gone.
so, any more questions out there?
I do. What's the money situation right now for the senior center? So we're just paying 3 employees.
Right. You still have to do your past people though, we still have to go through that whole payroll.
Okay. So is it sitting pretty good? We're not going in the hole
Oh no, it will still be in the hole.
for,
It will take a while. Hopefully, maybe by June-ish, maybe it will at least show that it is not in the hole.
okay, it's in the hole because we aren't getting our money from grants, that kind of thing.
No,
We're getting our meal, we're getting the grant money for the meals, right?
the expenditures were way too high compared to the income.
Right.
Expenditures were 50,000 a month and the income was 18, and so that left a very large gap.
But then you got rid of a lot of employees, so then the expenditures goes down.
They should,
Okay, so
But
that's
you're
what
not gonna
has to,
see-
you're gonna see that for a while.
right, you will not see that coming up for a couple months.
Okay,
We won't see that right away,
yeah,
but I am managing it within that 18,000 budget range. Actually below, way below.
because there's a lot of seniors really concerned about that. We wanna make sure that
Yeah.
with it closing and everything, that we're still not going in the hole. You know,
But that is my whole hopes. We won't see a change
it takes a while.
until you won't see it in this January. You will not see it start to hopefully come back up until your February and March. You'll be able to predict the pattern and stuff.
In the fiscal year, you work for fiscal year too, that's July 1st.
Right.
You know, you brought up about grants. I think it was at the paper last week and, somebody brought up grants and the reply was you can't get, the grants are mostly for brick and mortar projects. They're not for like, "Oh, we want to put on this activity or something because we have, you know, you can't apply for a grant for that, but it's mostly for, we need a grant, say we needed a grant to, because we're in a deficit situation, that isn't gonna work. So a grant has gotta be for a specific item, you know, and it takes a lot of work to documentation to, not that I know anything much about it, but just what I've read, but I think some people were hoping that we could get a grant to get us, get rid of our deficit, but we're gonna have to do it within ourselves here. And we've got a good start at it, so.
But the senior building or the senior center was never to be a money-making store on Main Street. It's totally funded by the government, period.
And fundraisers.
100%.
And,
Well, not 100%, but I mean, it's not made to,
Yes.
we're gonna be charging what a restaurant, you know, downtown charges for this meal and stuff. So there's always gonna be that issue.
The state funding was never intended for the Council on Aging to be ran solely on that funding. That was never the purpose.
Right. I can understand that the county should kick in, you know. Even some city taxes might even go down there. I don't know.
Mills. All right, anything else on that?
That 1 mil is the countywide.
All right, moving on to the next topic for discussion is Great West item for discussion. Do you have anything to add? We do have a meeting soon, don't we?
I believe.
That's a Wednesday?
We also got the final payment for Walker River, 5,800. I just got it today, so. Can I go ahead and process that claim?
Is it invoice or a payment?
Yeah. It's a application for payment,
Oh, so it's an invoice.
Yep.
How much was that again?
5,800.
From Walker River.
Yep.
I say go ahead.
Yeah,
I have a copy of that.
The invoice?
Yeah, may I?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else? On that? That's under invoices.
Yeah, I just got it right before the meeting, so I didn't get a chance to put it on there, but
Do we have any other invoices or quotes? Review board applications. We did receive that one board application for the weed. Okay, public comments on non-agenda items. I do have one, and it concerns the Council on Aging. Like I said, I've been working very hard on a lot of different angles and things in a short amount of time to get this Council on Aging, our center opened back up in a short period of time. But I did address with you, Bill, that please do not go outside of me, start conferring with me or asking me before you put out information or going behind my back to do those things, because it caused such a huge rift. It caused confusion out there. It was misinformation.
As I said, it
from
was
the
not meant to
beginning.
be.
I know what you told me. I'm just asking you publicly, do not do that anymore. To come to me and okay it, because I had no idea this information was going on out there. And people come to me and ask me all weekend long. And it just doesn't put a good message out there.
As I told you on the
That are
phone call,
getting up
that
and
when you
going.
called me Saturday morning about this, I told you that was never the intent. The intent, you sent out an email last week to the newspaper. Once the newspaper gets it, they're gonna put it on their website. So I thought I would try to help control the narrative. It was never meant to go around you.
But you did send it out to the radio also, which you never told me about, and I found out about this morning. I'm
And you
just
said it was the
I'm
seventh, but it was the
asking
second.
from
And
the
I already
city
told you I
forward.
would do that. I already told you that I would do that on the phone call and
Thank you.
earlier today.
Great, I just
So there was
wanna
no reason to, okay, well,
I wanna reconfirm
and
that.
I want to confirm that I would like
doesn't-
to get a copy of those bylaws.
We got something to work on now. Okay, guys? Yeah.
I wanna confirm that. That won't happen anymore because it looks like there's a lot of miscommunication going out there and it doesn't need to be done that way. I just wanted to confirm that with you.
Yes, I
Thank
guess you
you.
want to confirm it on camera. That's fine. Yes, it's confirmed.
Thank you.
I've already agreed
Thank
to
you.
you on the phone with that when you called me Saturday morning at home.
Thank you. Public comments on agenda items?
Is there any-
Well, I'd just like to say thank you to everybody,
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for coming.
you phone calls and everything.
Yeah, I didn't even know the center was opening back up. So thank you, Bill, for letting me know.
You're not old enough to know that. But
Just, as a community public person, just thanks to everybody. This is difficult, I know. Thank you. And just know there's a lot of love out there for seniors in this community and for the center, and people have mentioned to me they want to donate this or that or the other, and it's the timing is not right. It has to all you gotta keep track of it. You're gonna give $1,000 this month. That's not gonna help the center if you don't do it every month.
And you got a very good point there. A lot of these businesses, from Angel Care to Beaver Creek Perk and
Yes.
Creative Coffee, Yogurt, stepping up and allowing these things
Well,
in
even
their
the library
facilities.
said at convention that if senior center needs any room to meet or to do anything to meet it, they've opened the library to that too. It's just the library isn't really the best place because it can't be noisy.
Yeah, you guys are crazy.
Yeah.
You guys are crazy noisy over there.
Oh, hey, we did take the coffee group up to the Angel Tree. I could tell that I would really appreciate what they were doing for us. I did take the coffee group up to the Angel
Oh,
Tree.
good.
Those that could walk that far from the parking lot, into the mall. Otherwise, we'd have been there for a day.
All right, well,
Okay, so that was just,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
thank you, thank you.
Yeah, me too. I appreciate you listening to all of us ideas or whatever. We've all got ideas, but may not be on the board or anything, but I just look around it. And we had our businesses, we'd stop and visit other businesses similar to ours, and you guys, when you're at your, state convention and whatnot, I'm sure you get ideas on how to run things, and if you're traveling to Chinook or Great Falls, again, people that live in Howard stop at Great Falls and they tell me about what they're doing down there. You get ideas. I think you've got all the ideas you can think of, but you just stop and say, oh, that's a good idea. So it doesn't cost any money.
Oh,
Anyway,
all right, well, thank you for coming today. We appreciate it. And meeting adjourned at 3:17.
Your time. I still got time to plum.
Are you hoping it was gonna go long? So